Howdy ho, guys and gals. I'm Jeff King. Welcome back to the Den of Tools. And today we're talking about tool storage, specifically Craftsman. This is one that I said I would dive into. I'd try it. And I went kind of head first and went a little crazy. I bought one of the larger toolboxes, as you can see here. And I bought not one, but three of the smaller toolboxes. And it's not for lack of storage on my behalf. The first one had a specific use. I guess they all have a specific use before I bought them. I try to know what I'm going to do with something before I buy it. But the other three, it's going to be kind of unique. And I think you might find something interesting out of this because I got to say, I am both underwhelmed and happy with my experience at the same time. Well, let's say happy-ish. Let's show you the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you will, of these Craftsman toolboxes. So this is where we start with what I don't like about the Craftsman. First of all, this is a completely separate plate you have to put on here. I guess for rigidity, they couldn't attach it themselves. You have to put it on there. So you get it on here, you line it up. It's not a big deal. It's just kind of like them finding a way to make you do more of the labor, they do less of the labor. They don't cover this panel here. You know, most companies, they have a sheet metal on the inside, they have sheet metal on the outside, give it a nice look. This is just cheaping out. The wheels. I wish they'd paid less attention to ridiculous mag parts on the wheels than making, say, good wheels. And here's the bolts that we use for this. You see that? That looks great, right? Except it's actually a screw. So I'm screwing in to the sheet metal or whatever is under here behind it. And it's just another way for them to be cheap about this stuff. And it's aggravating. Well, and as I commented there in the little pop-up on the screen, there is nothing behind it. These all turned out to be, I checked later, I actually pulled the drawers out, went in and checked. They're just punches through the sheet metal for these screws to bite into. There were many times where I'd put a screw in and it was just, the hole was too big and I had to go in at an angle, kind of cross-threaded, if you will. And yeah, I'm using my favorite, cordless hex screwdriver thing there. And I have the torque on a very low setting so as not to strip out any of the holes in this thing. You have to get everything else lined up, and you can't tighten anything up until you get all four wheels in, because if you tighten it up, not only will the wheels not match up, the plate won't match up. It's kind of a ridiculous situation. And I sure hope you weren't hoping or wishing that the side handle would be a better situation. These seem to be even cheaper screws where you have to use a Phillips head. They don't even let you have the decency of having, an actual bolt head on it. And every single one of these, of all three boxes, the larger box didn't have the problem, but all of them had a pre-stripped or larger punched hole where I had to go back and toy with it to get it to work. And you can only put it in on one side. You don't have an option of putting it on the other side. I wanted to show you, here's the sides. Look at that. I've caught myself so many times on those edges there already. Rampart is a Taiwanese-based slide company that looks like they make decent, mostly residential kind of slide stuff. I'm not sure if SBD owns them or not. Soft close. That is like the only step up feature that these boxes have, is that they are soft close drawers. But as you notice, I'm not just stopping before I get to the end there. They don't open all the way. They don't open close to all the way. You're still going to lose an inch or so at the back of every drawer because, again, just every corner they could cut, they seem to cut. The only corner on this box that was not cut was going with soft close as the option. I cannot believe that you don't have the option to put the handle on the other side. That's ridiculous. And every edge of this thing is sharp. Where they bent that metal over to make the box, every edge is razor sharp. Now, as to what's the use case scenario, well, here it is right here. Tool stands is what I'm going to be using these for. First and foremost is for my oscillating belt and spindle sander, as seen here. Then I just keep all my sandpaper and everything else down below. And here you can see I've got some miter saws set up on it. One of these miter saws is going to go away. This is currently the setup in the shop right now because it's not a huge shop, and I believe in having everything on wheels, having a lot of storage. And I priced this out. I was like, well, I could build these myself after I bought all the slides and the wheel kits and good plywood. I was already over the price of these, so that's where I'm at. And here's the larger box, and here's why it's, again, I wasn't really worried about it being heavy duty. It's going to be a brewing and other kind of alcoholic production facility station over there in the corner of my shop. One of my other hobbies that I've been doing for years and years and years. So getting back into it, and that's why I got that. I wasn't really worried about the quality of it. Well, there you can see it. That's the takeaway from it. I bought the 3 small ones as essentially tool stands, mobile tool stands. Now, I like to do this. I started doing this with my sanders when I had my bench sander, and then I just started loading up everything underneath it with all my sanding paper, not just the sanding paper for that sander, all the sanding paper in the shop, because my mind goes, sanding. Oh, well, the bench sander and all the other sander, it's all right there. If I need a palm sander, a detail sander, I need sheets of sandpaper, I need hand sand, all of it, I've got plenty of storage there. That's the reason I'm going that route. Same thing with the miter saw station. It's going to have all my saw blades for the miter saw blades for circ saws, saw blades for my table saw, and all the other tools that go along with it. They're all going to be in my miter saw station. Now, they're not all going to be, I'm not going to keep 2 miter saws. This is, of course, for the testing that we're doing of these, the rigid versus the Delta Cruiser miter saws. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with when I get rid of one of them. I'm going to probably get rid of the Delta and keep the rigid because that's the newest one and that's the one they want me to keep testing and stuff. I got 2 other tools in the shop. One of them is the jointer. I don't see if you can see the joint. Let me pull you around here. There's the Vivor jointer that we're testing as well. And then as I bring you back here, and folks, right behind my shoulder right there, that is the Tack Life. Yes, they're back. That's the bandsaw that I bought. And yes, that's one I actually bought with my own money. It was $200 through Walmart for a 10-inch bandsaw. We've just unpacked it. I haven't really done anything with it, but I do have to say, I'm a little surprised by the quality. I mean, at least in the step up above from a 9-inch. So I've had bigger bandsaws and was always very happy. Well, I had Grizzly, so I was pretty happy with it. I had a rigid one that I restored, which was meh. It was all right. I'm really surprised with the build quality so far of this thing. There's not cast iron wheels and cool glide blocks and all that other kind of stuff, but compared to a 9-inch, which is what I was really expecting, like a just overblown 9-inch bandsaw, it's quite a step up, and I'm happy and surprised to see that at the same time. Anyway, back to the Craftsman stuff. I have to say, honestly, they're bottom of the barrel. All the Yukon, the Husky stuff, all of that are a step above these. I've got cuts all over my hand from these boxes. Every single turned over edge and everything has a sharp razor edge on the other side. You have to, now you didn't have to on the bigger box. You didn't have to put those additional rails on the bigger box, but on the smaller box you do, because they didn't want to take the time to weld them on there. And I went through the manual. It's not like they're optional or something. Yeah, you need to put them on there. That's for reinforcing to keep the thing together. I guess if you were going to stack them somehow, what is the point of that? Why you have these optional rails there like that? And why is everything a sheet metal screw? I went through and I opened it up and I felt on the inside. There's no retainer on the inside. These are just punches through the steel wall with a sheet metal screw going into it. This is ridiculous. At every step along the way, they've cheaped out. The mat on top is just cheap foam. It's not like a good hard rubber like you see on the U.S. Generals. There are no mats in the drawers. Honestly, these things are an embarrassment to have the name Craftsman on it. And I'm sorry, because I love Craftsman. But am I happy with them? Yeah, kind of, because they're doing the job I bought them to do. And I went in, I'd already purchased the larger cabinet. I already was expecting this level of quality. I wasn't expecting the reinforcing sheets on the bottom. That was a whole new level of cheap. But, they're going to be what they use. They're going to be perfect for what I'm going to use them for. But I don't know. What do you think? I know a lot of you are like, I'm pissed off at Craftsman. I'm pissed off at Craftsman. We're pissed off at Craftsman together. Stanley Black & Decker has really done this name badly. And this is more like what I would expect to see from a Black & Decker branded cart. Not that there is one, but Craftsman's supposed to be the prosumer, the home gamer, we're taking care of the weekend warrior and the prosumer. And it feels like we're selling you a name and a paint job and cheating you the rest of the way. And that's a shame. But that said, are some of you going to look at doing this kind of solution? Are some of you going to think about doing it this way? Let me know what you think down in the comments. While you're down there, don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash the subscribe, ring the bell on your way out. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.